History or mystery? Do you think you're up for today's challenge? I'm going to share with you clues and hints about 3 very important libraries that were very influential in their day and continue to be influential today. Do you think you can do it? Alright, so here we go. Ready for the challenge? The first library we are going to explore was founded in 300 BC in Egypt by Ptolemy I. It was destroyed much later in 415 AD. Known for its ancient wisdom and knowledge, collectors were sent around the world to gather and copy volumes, adding to the library's hype. At its height, the collection has been recorded as having up to 700,000 texts. This library was built in the style of Aristotle's Lyceum. Unfortunately, there are no present-day pictures of the library. It has gardens, a room that people were able to dine in, a reading room, lecture halls, and meeting rooms, among many other things. Ahead of its time, the library had a cataloging department, and it contained shelves in the main hall for the collections of the scrolls. During this time, the books were all written on papyrus scrolls. Papyrus scrolls were made from the papyrus plants that grow wildly in Egypt. They grow beside the Nile River among the marshes. It is quite a process putting the papyrus together, but it was one natural resource and a great way to create texts. Great measures were taken to become the greatest library of its time, as ships that came in were stripped of their books so that they could be added to the library's collections. Although the owners got their books back, they were merely copies, as the great library sought to keep the original copies for their library. Additionally, there were many great scholars that worked at this library. Let's take a look at them. The first one we have is Aristarchus. He developed the first detailed sun-centered picture of the solar system, 1,800 years prior to Copernicus. The second great scholar was Eratosthenes, who mapped the Earth and accurately determined its size. The third one is Hipparchus, who accurately determined the cycle of the precession of the equinoxes. This yielded the concept of the Piscean age of 2,160 years and the Aquarian age of equal length. Our fourth one is Claudius Ptolemy, the father of modern astrology, and he detailed the Earth-centered system. And lastly, we have Hypatia, who was huge in her time, especially because she was a great scholar and a female. She was born in 370 BC, and she was a physicist, a mathematician, an astronomer, a philosopher, and a spokesperson for the library. She was known for her beauty and knowledge and her refusal to marry. Fanatical Christians inspired by Cyril, Archbishop of Alexandria, threw her from her chariot, scored the flesh from her bones with abalone shells, burned her remains, and destroyed her works. Maybe I took that one a bit far, but you can see how influential these scholars were and how they made the library even a bigger statement. And Hypatia was actually born in 370 AD, not BC. Sorry. Had to make that correction. This great library that we're trying to guess was so influential that its demise in 415 AD brought on the Dark Ages. And the last and greatest hint I will give you is that it was named after Alexander the Great. That's right. You guessed it, the Alexandrian Library. So, what was so influential about this library? Let's take a look. It functioned as a major center of scholarship. The model of the library has influenced the layout of university campuses. It was charged as collecting all of the world knowledge, providing us with much ancient history and theologies that we have today. It was at the Library of Alexandria that the scientific method was first conceived and put into practice. Editors of the Library of Alexandria edited the Homeric text, which helps modern-day readers decipher its meaning. It was also the first known library to have a cataloging system, so it passed down organizational techniques for libraries today. Thus, the Alexandrian Library set an example of the vigor and the determination of preserving and collecting texts. The facts about this library all show that it was the focal point of the city. Researcher Christian Jacobs stated, "There is hardly a discipline, whether literary genre or intellectual field, from medicine to philology, cartography to mechanics, astronomy to poetry, that was not enriched and transformed by the unknown conditions of this great Eastern Mediterranean metropolis." Modeled after the original, a present-day Alexandria has been built to serve the Middle East once again and in hopes of recapturing the spirit of perhaps its richest legacy. Here are some pictures of modern-day Alexandria.